Your court television news starting now.
Hello. Uh-oh. Not yet. I didn't boomer it up yet. Almost, though. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of the NJ Courts Breaking News Edition, Hampton Brandon. Wait, Breaking News with NJ Courts, Hampton Brandon Edition. Sorry, my head's all fucking flustered. It was a crazy ass fucking hearing. I had to record it on 2 different devices because both my devices were running out of memory, but I got everything. And we're going to have to watch it in 4 different parts, but it is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let the notification go out for a bit, and we'll check out and see how Hampton Brandon, a.k.a. Brandon Grosso's November 15th hearing went this morning. All right. I'm going to just play it. I'll join you guys in chat, see if you guys have any questions. And then we'll have a chit chat afterwards. We'll have a little discussion because I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions. There's a lot of legal terms used. And for the most part, the intelligent ones of you, which are my members of the jury and my mods, you'll figure it out. But for some of the dum-dums, you know, I'll have to dumb it down a bit. So don't worry. We'll have a discussion afterwards. But yeah, it's going to be probably about a total of, I'd say, at least minimum of 15 minutes, which includes a kind of a story that the judge told, shared a little bit of some personal life information, I guess, as an example for Brandon. But yeah, it's an interesting hearing. A lot of facts got out. Like I said, at the end, you'll find out the result of the hearing. And like I said, we'll have a discussion then. If you're just kind of joining in now, we had a part 1 or breaking news update this morning, which is where I broke the news about Hampton Brandon being rearrested. Okay, so this is not stemming from his original arrest back in July. He was arrested October 27th. I'm a little late on the news. The only reason I even found out about this was I was looking up, you know, the info about his court hearing that was this morning. Okay. And while I was doing that, I saw that he, 1, got rearrested. And second of all, he was charged with 4 new charges and has another whole new case separate from the one that was heard today or this morning. Okay. So again, this morning's hearing had to do with his original arrest back in July, which had to do with him pretty much getting charged with 2 charges. One being, I'm not going to pull up the files right now, but I'll try to get as exact as I can. It was for trespassing, and the other one was pretty much for disobeying a protective order. Okay. He was pretty much released on his own. I don't think he was bonded out. I think he was ROR'd. Either way, he was released. He was given a ankle monitor bracelet, and pretty much that ankle monitor bracelet is what got him in trouble on the second incident, because, and again, you can find all this as a replay from the first part that we did this morning. I'm just kind of giving you guys a quick little background just in case you didn't watch this morning's yet. But pretty much he let his ankle monitor die. Long story short, it set off an alert to the sheriff's department that he was no longer active on their monitoring system, which then pretty much gave the judge the right to issue out 2 warrants. And that's what he did, a warrant for each of the charges, the original charges from July. Now, they didn't go out and get him on those warrants. As a matter of fact, they picked him up on a little traffic infraction, which was him riding his bike at night, was what we read from the incident report, and not having the proper lights on his bike. They pulled him over. They asked for his ID. He refused to give any information. So they arrested him on obstruction. They arrested him on the infraction. They arrested him. And then they found out after they got his information that he had 2 warrants, which I wasn't even aware until we found out about it when we were reading the incident report this morning. So, yeah, he got in a lot of trouble, really. But, you know, this morning is just going to reflect the incident stemming from July. He's got a separate court hearing for the most recent incident, which had to do with the four charges I just went over, having to do with him getting picked up on October 27th that night on his bicycle. That hearing, I think we said, is going to be coming up on the 19th. And it's going to be sometime in the morning. All right. So, good morning to everybody. It's still morning here where I'm at. It's still morning technically on the East Coast. So good morning to everybody. Yeah, we had a part 1 this morning that went off at like 6 a.m. my time, which is 5 a.m. West Coast. And it was 7 a.m. I think 7 a.m. Yeah, 7:30. Excuse me. We did it at the 30 minute after. So it was 7:30, I think. This morning on the East Coast. Either way, as soon as we're done here, you can go check out that first half of this part 1 of 2 of this live breaking news coverage of the Hampton Brandon case. I was just originally planning on giving you guys a court update today. And like I said, as I was doing my research on the case for this morning, I found out that he was arrested again on October the 27th. He's still in the custody of the jail. And you'll find out what happened at his hearing today. But as of this morning, he was still obviously in the custody of I forgot the exact name. I have it here. I wrote the name of his, I think we had it here. The name of his jail. Either way, it's not important right now. But yeah, he was still in custody this morning, and pretty much he was unbondable at the time. All right, so we'll see if that's changed, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to play this in 4 parts. As a matter of fact, because I had to reset my stream right now. Obviously, you saw I had a little malfunction at the beginning. Just give me a quick minute just to bring up these folders again, or these video files from the folder I already have ready. So it should just take a minute. But like I said, we're going to play it in 4 parts. For the most part, it's just going to kind of transition pretty smoothly. But if it doesn't for you, don't worry. Everything's pretty understandable. You can hear everything pretty well. And like I said, at the end, we'll have a little discussion. But good morning to all the members of the jury. Good morning to all my mods. Good morning to all the viewers. And give me a minute to get all these 4 video files up, and we'll get rocking and rolling. All right. So that should be number 1. And so you're going to see it pop up here for a second. I'll have to remove it. There we go. Let's get video file number 2. Got it. Present video file number 3. Now, I will say this. The judge that Mr. Hampton Brandon had this morning was in my opinion, a very, very awesome judge. Very fair. He explained everything as well as you can explain to somebody that may not understand the whole judicial system. And in a way, I feel that he kind of helped Brandon. And you guys determine that on your own. But like I said, there's a pretty interesting outcome at the end, and we'll have a discussion because I think some people may be even confused as to, how everything kind of goes. Like I said, don't worry, I got you. All right, so I just need one more video up, and we're gonna get started. But yeah, shout out to that judge. Out of all these hearings I watched, very professional and just straight to the point. If I was a taxpayer in the state of Florida, I would be very happy with that judge using my taxpayers' money wisely. All right, so we should be able to open this last file here.
Drop a demand for.
All right, let's get started. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. You're in sub-only mode. Oh, like you mean like that's the only people that can watch? I should be in sub-only mode as far as conversation. That's what I always set it on. Let me just check my customization really quick. Yeah, that's what I wanted on sub-only mode for the... Yeah, that's what we always have it on. But everybody in here is not... anybody should be able to watch, I think. Let me just double check that setting. Let's go to details. Huh. Should be where I have my time here. Let's see here. Public. No, visibility is for everybody. Yeah, so we're all set. We're good. We're at the right settings. All right, cool. Let's get going. All right, so here we go. Without further ado, this is the November 15th Hampton Brandon hearing that took place this morning out of the Broward County Judicial System. I think it's the courthouse was these main or central courthouse is the way they have it labeled, but either way, it's not very important. But here we go.
Morning. You're on page 6 of my docket. Mr. Williams, I'll be with you in a minute. Apparently my video. Yeah, my video. All right, what are we doing on Grotto? Oh, you've got a couple of cases.
Yes, so I filed a motion to set bond or the alternative for ROR or to reinstate what it was pre-trial. My client was issued a warrant for pre-trial for failing to charge his mom. He indicated he did attempt to charge his GPS thing, but it was really heavy and it fell off the charger off the wall, so the battery died.
Could I ask you a question?
Yes.
If you know the answer. Let's give Mr. Grasso all the credit in the world. When the GPS charger didn't charge, when it fell down, he then immediately went to the sheriff's office and communicated with them about this. Can I hang my hat on that to let him out, or did it possibly occur that a number of days went by and we had to find him?
I need to speak to my client before I say that.
I don't think you need to speak to him, but I'll give you the opportunity to verify.
He's saying yes.
All right, let's look it up.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, why don't you let's give him a lifeline and you talk to him and see whether or not that's actually quite how it happened. But I am more than willing to look.
It was the day that Wednesday when I told you I was aware that my court date is on the 10th, 15th. They let me leave with a warrant from pre-trial. I had a warrant already and they let me leave. I spoke to Mr. Hayes. Well, I don't get to speak to you.
She's going to come over to you in a minute. She's looking for the answer before she comes over to you. All right, so let's look at his arrest paperwork on this case. All right, I've read the PC in the instant case. Four 011 246 and then A. Well, I got it. He did, in fact, turn himself in as he was getting arrested on the new case. All right, your motion's denied. The new unfiled case basically translates to he was pulled over for a traffic violation. He refused to identify himself. He was put on pretrial release originally, picked up a new arrest. In addition to all that, when he actually was caught, he lied about or he refused to say who he was. Your motion's respectfully denied, Mr. Reed. Sir, I would highly suggest you be quiet.
Yes, please.
All right, so what are we doing? Dave, what's the offer on this? Apparently, according to the report, I'm not saying it was true. The incident was caught on video. According to the report, I'm not saying it was true. He's been trespassed at that location previously.
That was his residence.
I understand that. And after he was removed by the circuit, allegedly, he opted to go back not once, but more than once. There was a restraining order. He still went back. He was still there when the police came. So,
yes, the offer is an adjudication, 12 months probation with special conditions, suspended sentence of 180 days Broward County Jail, no contact and no return to the incident location at 3700 Harrison Street, apartment 19, Hollywood, Florida, and court costs. And for the trespass, it's an adjudication, no return court costs.
counsel?
When we said it wrong.
No, absolutely not. In light of the new arrest, if the state doesn't file a new charge, that's fine. I'm going to remand him for multiple reasons. The first reason is he violated pretrial. The second reason is he picked up a new arrest. The third reason is because he's clearly a flight risk by refusing to say who he is. I mean, he literally, and I mean no offense when I say this, he ticks every box. So no, he's going to be remanded custody to Sheriff Broward County, no bond. We'll give it a status in 60 days. Absolutely, I'll give you whatever you want. Work on this case.
And I guess I can't do it on the unfiled case.
Wait, I'll take the adjudication. I'll take that deal. As long as my charges are going to be adjudicated in 6 months, I'm willing to take that deal.
Okay, so I want you to be quiet and listen to me. I promise we're not done. You're going to talk to her as soon as I'm done with you, okay? So look at me and listen to me.
Yes.
If you want to resolve this case today, be quiet, and then you're going to talk to her. If you want to resolve this case today, I will let you out of jail today, or tonight, or tomorrow. It depends how backed up they are. But you're going to be on 1 year reporting probation. That means you have to go to probation Monday. You have to sign up for probation. You cannot get rearrested for any reason. Do you understand that?
For a whole year.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
Let me continue. All right. If you get rearrested, if you interact with this person, if you do anything inappropriate with this person, you're automatically getting 180 days in the Broward County Jail. That's 6 months. It would appear, and I'm not asking you to say anything, and Ms. Roditi, I am cautioning your client. I am not indicating that he has done this. That you had an issue, you were told to leave, You were trespassed not to be there. You were trespassed not to be there again. You were then arrested for being there. It would appear facially that you are not going to succeed unless you've learned your lesson from this visit to jail. So there is some serious peril in resolving this case to a probationary officer. And again, Ms. Roditi, in no way am I denigrating your defense in any way. I just need him to understand. Do you understand what I've told you? Okay, now you talk to her. We're not negotiating. Go ahead. And if you want to take it, I'll honor that. We're done with her as well. Jordan Chanaloop, good morning. Is that yours as well?
All right, so that concludes video 1 of 4, okay? So like you heard the judge, he's letting Hampton Brandon take some time to discuss what the judge presented to him as part of pretty much a plea offer. And so now they're discussing this on the side bench pretty much, okay? So the judge went ahead, and this is why I like this judge. Instead of wasting time, he went ahead and just started hearing some of the other cases while they're doing their thing, okay? So that's why I had to kind of, pause, play. Also, I ran out of memory on my phone and had to switch to screen recorder on the laptop. But either way, we got the whole hearing. So let's roll over to part 2 of 4.
What are we doing on Mr.
So now he's giving, bringing back the Hampton Brandon and his public defender back to see what they're going to do.
All right, what are we doing on Mr. Grasso? What are we doing on Mr. Grasso?
So I'm trying to look because my client has indicated that this injunction was dropped, and that the victim's his family did not want to prosecute. But at this time, is the court willing to consider any credit time served in lieu of probation?
Nope.
Will he get credit time served for the days that he was in custody for the probation? Like if it's like 20 days, 20 less days on his 12-month probation?
Yeah, he has to by law.
Okay. I don't know. Mr. Grosso has gone back and forth with me on whether he wants to.
Now, understand this. I want to clarify. If Mr. Grosso resolves this, the 20 days count towards his total period of supervision, not the jail sentence on the off chance that he violates.
I mean, he signed a waiver form, so.
Mr. Grasso, you want to resolve this case today?
I hope so.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question. If you violate, what happens?
180 days.
All right, raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your full legal name.
Brandon Jason Grasso.
Mr. Grasso, I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. None of them are meant offensively. All right? But I need to be abundantly clear. Do you understand that you have an absolute right to trial in this matter?
Yes, sir.
Is he resolving the other case as well or no? I don't think he should, but.
No, not the
Your
other.
Honor, will
Will he get out still?
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
letting him out. It's not filed.
Yeah, that one, no problem.
All right. That's the one where you were with the cops and didn't want to tell them your name allegedly.
Yeah, she has to file.
You're not resolving it,
So
but you're still getting out.
I have to go to court again for me?
Yeah, unless you want to resolve it today, and I'll give you a withhold and waive.
What is, I don't understand what withhold means.
Withhold means you're not convicted of not giving the cops your name, and I'm not assessing any court costs in conjunction with it. So it's the equivalent of a very stern warning.
Can I please take a very stern warning?
Okay. All right.
And also, Your Honor, I have one question.
Oh boy, I be careful.
Advice
What does
not to have-
adjudication mean?
Okay, I'm going to explain all this. Okay. So an adjudication means you are convicted of this crime.
So it doesn't mean that I can adjudicate and
I
get
can do
it.
that.
All right. I thought adjudication means that I can get my convictions dropped after a sentence.
So I can tell you there is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 years of lawyer experience here. or schooling? The answer to your question is a categorical no. It's going to be on your record until the day you die.
Unless I appeal?
No, because I'm not going to let you take an appeal.
I can't appeal this.
Oh, sure you can. All right, but the appeal that you're going to take, assuming you do, I'm going to ask you enough questions where you can't take an appeal. Do you intend to enter a plea resolving this case, at which point I'm going to find you guilty? I'm going to...
All right, next one. Hold on. I'm not texting. I'm putting a comment here. So pretty much what I was saying was Hampton Brandon already has a criminal record. Why is he so concerned with this being on his record? Okay. So now we're going to get into video 3 of 4. This is where this starts taking a just bad turn for Hampton. Now, you'll see that this judge still kind of, I think understood maybe something about Hampton, and he discusses it at the end. And I think in a way did still kind of help him in a way. But in my opinion, and again, I'm not a lawyer, this is not any type of advice, but he should have just took the offers that the judge gave on both cases. I don't know if y'all understood and heard, but Hampton Brandon literally had the opportunity just right now to pretty much get a warning for the most recent case with the 4 charges, the one having to have him, with him being pulled over on his bike and obstructing, the officer by not giving his ID. Literally, the judge was going to give him a warning for that, then was going to give him probation for pretty much 6 months. It was a year, but then he dismissed 6 months and was going to let him get out of jail today. Okay. So Hampton was going to get out of jail today. All he had to do was be on probation for 6 months. Now, you heard the judge. If he did anything at all, he was going to jail for 6 months, period. No questions asked. Okay. So that's the kind of the thing the judge wanted Hampton to understand is you've got a record and you've got a history of repeating, what you're doing now, which is, not listening to anybody or the police or these protective orders, the instructions of the, post-release conditions, of having his ankle monitor bracelet and making sure it's charged up and all that. So he wants him to understand that there is a good possibility that he could get in trouble again. And if he does, there is no more chances. Okay. So I would still take that. I think Hampton should just make this his come to Jesus day and say, all right, I'm not going to fuck up and do anything else. Because take in mind and listen for this if you hear this at all. And anytime the judge bring up the fact that Hampton is also got probation, he's under probation in Nevada, which we found out from the police incident report that we read this morning. And he still got the charges he's facing that he pretty much, I think they've got a warrant issued out for him. I have to double check if it's not my understanding, out of California. Remember San Diego, that whole SWAT incident? He still's got to face those charges there. So for the judge not even considering the fact that he's broke probation, probably most likely his probation out of Nevada said you can't get in any trouble, which he did. The fact that he's wanted possibly on a warrant in California, all he was going to give him was probation for 6 months, get out of jail today or sometime today, and a fucking slap on the wrist, a warning for the bicycle incident, okay? Where this turns sour is Hampton Brandon now is concerned with the fact that it's going to be a full adjudication, which means it's going to be on his record, regardless if he completes the probation, and does a great job and finishes it just like he's supposed to, it'll still be on his record. I don't see why he's so concerned with that when he's already got a record. You follow me? But hey, it's his right. So anyways, that was my little spiel. Let's move on to video 3 of 4. But in my opinion, this judge is giving him a hell of a fucking deal. You know what I mean? Remember, this is how the justice system works. They just go by the facts at hand, okay? This judge doesn't know the whole story behind Brandon and doesn't know isn't considering his previous criminal record or anything like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I would have ran with it if I was in Brandon's situation. But either way, let's go. So this is going to be video 3 of 4.
Right. You violate what happened.
So I had to do it off of you're watching it off of my screen recorder off the desktop. So I apologize about the view, but you'll still be able to hear everything just fine and see the judge. All right, here we go.
180 days.
You violate what happened.
180 days.
Right? Raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your full legal name.
Brandon Jason Grasso.
Mr. Grasso, I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. None of them were meant offensively. All right? But I need to be abundantly clear. Do you understand that you have an absolute right to trial in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he resolving the other case as well or no? I don't think he should, but.
No, not the
Your
other.
Honor,
Will he get out still?
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
letting him out. It's not filed.
Yeah, that one, no, no.
All right. That's the one where you were with the cops and didn't want to tell them your name allegedly.
He actually has to file.
You're not resolving it,
so
but you're still getting out.
I have to go to court again for it?
Yeah, unless you want to resolve it today, and I'll give you a withhold and waive.
I don't understand what withhold means.
Withhold means you're not convicted of not giving the cops your name, and I'm not assessing any court costs in conjunction with it. So it's the equivalent of a very stern warning.
Can I please take a very stern warning?
Okay. All right.
And also, Your Honor, I have one question.
Oh, boy, I be careful.
What does adjudication mean?
Okay, I'm gonna explain all that stuff. Okay. So an adjudication means you are convicted of this crime.
So it doesn't mean that I can adjudicate and
I
get
can
it.
do that.
All right, I thought adjudication means that I can get my convictions dropped after a certain time.
So I can tell you there is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 years of lawyer experience here, or schooling. The answer to your question is a categorical no. It's gonna be on your record until the day you die.
Unless I appeal,
No, because I'm not gonna let you take an appeal.
I can't appeal this.
Oh, sure you can.
Okay.
All right, but the appeal that you're gonna take, assuming you do, I'm gonna ask you enough questions where you can't take an appeal.
Your Honor,
Do you intend to enter a plea resolving this case, at which point I'm gonna find you guilty? I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty. I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions so you can't take an appeal. The only thing you can appeal is the legalness of my sentence. And I assure you, I could put you in jail for 364 days. So letting you out,
Your Honor,
Don't speak.
I kinda gotta let him at this point.
I just want to let you know you're stopping me from celebrating with my family, and
I'm stopping
I
you.
may be a criminal, but I've been out here for 20 years and I never got in trouble until my uncle wanted me out of the will. And I am not a criminal in the state of Florida, and I respect Broward County. I've lived here for a while, and I have never gotten in trouble until my family came here, and I apologize for coming here for it.
I believe you.
Thank you. And it genuinely hurts to take the sentence, but I have no choice because I'm losing everything I own in California. I lost my car. I have things I need to do. And the only reason I'm taking this plea is because I have no choice. I can't keep sitting in jail. So I'm going to take it, and whatever comes with it, comes with it. But I don't feel that justice has been served whatsoever.
So, Mr. Grasso, I will set you for trial in 2 weeks.
I want to be able to, I have to.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I will move. So, Mr. Grasso, I'm going to tell you a true story. Mr. Grasso, you're going to listen to my true story.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
I was a police sergeant in Broward County. I was 27 when I got promoted to sergeant, which quite frankly is probably a little too young. After 4 years and 6 months as a sergeant, I, being me, opted not to let my guys arrest somebody. This kind of sounds like the way I still am, because I didn't want to give this person a record. Unfortunately, this idiot decided that he was still going to drive home after starting a bar fight. And he was mad at me when I threw him out physically from the bar. So I had one of my cops get behind him and stop him from being able to drive. The cop decided he was going to be cute and arrest him for DUI, so he let him get in the car and drive away. At which point, the cop ran the guy off, and the guy started beating the crap out of the cop. Which kind of, in a way, is poetic justice, because he didn't do what I told him to do. 2 additional cops show up, me being the second cop. This guy's absolutely high as a kite on coke and various other drugs and drunk as a skunk. He wants to get out of there. You with me? So I am also the defensive tactics instructor. Why? Because in a prior life, I was a ninja. All right? And I have a great deal of training in how to basically dismember somebody in about 3 seconds. I opted not to do that. Instead, I took pepper spray and put a whole thing of pepper spray into this dude. I mean, he was pooping pepper spray for 3 weeks. He couldn't see a thing, still hadn't touched him. He decided he was going to get away. So as he was going to get away, he reached out. In hindsight, he couldn't see. You with me? He couldn't see. But what he grabbed inadvertently was a 6-hour P226 on my side. That was the end of the nicey nice thing. I hit him 6 to 8 times, fractured his jaw, fractured his skull, did various other things. By everybody's agreement, over about 4.5 seconds. Got him finally, somewhat unconsciously, in custody. All right, and I got charged with 2 counts of battery. Why? Because in my report, I wrote every single thing I did. And there was a witness who said, and this ties into you, that those cops had beat the hell out of him. The first 2 cops beat the hell out of him. Then some police car came and blocked it. Well, A, I was the police car that blocked it. And B, the witness was a sergeant in the United States Army. And you've seen the police with the big yellow stripes and all that. He said, absolutely, there was no sergeant there on the scene. And I got charged criminally. Why? Because I had told my chief of police to F off and die. I was the union president and said, one of us is leaving soon and it ain't going to be me. Right before this incident happened. So I got called into my chief's office, and if you knew my personality, I think Mr. Sharp gets it. This is something I would have done. So I get called in. I am told if I don't resign, it's Christmas Eve, I'm going to get fired. I'm 6 days from vesting in the state pension. Or I could retire. They'd give me my pension. They'd give me enough money to subsidize 3 years at University of Miami Law School, which they actually did. And I inwardly could know I could come back the day after I got my degree and be the general counsel of the union that the chief had just screwed the president, which I did. And make a metric shit ton of money. The reason he could do that is because the state attorney, a gentleman by the name of John Countryman, had filed the charges against me, ignoring all the evidence because I admitted I hit this person. Flash forward 2.5 years. I lose my job. My wife's pregnant with my 2nd kid. You see where I'm going with all this. I go bankrupt. I lose everything I have. But damn it, nobody's keeping me down other than me. All right? So I fight. I go to trial. I prevail at trial. The judge in this building, well, the next building over, calls me when he finds out I get my license and says, come over here. I want to swear you in front of everybody into the bar. You got it. I don't want to hear about fighting from you. I've been on 3 combat deployments, 2 police shootings, been to the hospital on multiple occasions. If you are right, you fight it. If not, you're sheep. You want to resolve it today and stop this discussion and get out of jail, or you want to fight it? And I'll give you a trial in 2 weeks.
Can I speak to my wife?
Absolutely. She's all day at your service.
Just remember.
Miss Jones, what shall we talk about now? You violate.
That concludes part 3 of 4, ladies and gents. And boy, did that take a very interesting turn, didn't it? So anyways, let's go ahead and conclude this case from this morning as we roll right into the last video, video 4 of 4. All right, ladies and gents. Again, thank you for everybody just coming in. This is part 2 of our coverage from part 1. That was a early morning broadcast that we did this morning, covering the breaking news of Hampton Brandon's newest arrest, as well as the fact that he is in the custody of jail right now. And we were also reporting on the fact that he had his hearing this morning, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to bring that to you or not. So we are here. We were able to do it. We've got part 2, which is what you're watching now. So if you didn't have a chance to catch the first part, that VOD is up. As soon as we're done here, I highly encourage you to check it out. All righty, ladies and gents, I'm going to shut the F up, and here we go. Part 4 of 4.
All right. Drop a demand for speedy. And then we'll pick a date next week, coordinate it amongst us. I'll get you to the next possible available trial date. All right. What's the offer?
The offer is adjudication, 12 months probation, special condition of suspended sentence of 180 days, Broward County Jail, no victim contact, and no return to the site of the trespass, also adjudication.
Your motion to take depots is tonight. We're going to set it for trial. At this time, reduce it to writing.
Okay, so let me stop this really quick. So what I didn't catch, just to give you a little backstory, because I ran out of memory or something happened on my laptop. I don't know if it's a memory issue, so I had to switch over to my phone. So what you didn't catch was the part, and this is kind of important, is Brandon has now, Hampton Brandon, a.k.a. Brandon Great Grosso. I've been saying it wrong. Anyways, he went ahead and withdrew his taking or accepting of the plea deal or deals that the judge and the state had offered. Okay, so remember on the last video 3, the judge pretty much said, if you're going to fight this, then fight this. What's your decision, Brandon? Well, his speech must have worked, because Brandon went ahead and withdrew his acceptance of that plea deal and has now decided to fight this case and go to a jury trial. So that's what the judge is now getting into, okay? So that's the part you didn't hear, was the fact that Hampton, in his own voice, says, I would like to withdraw my plea or whatever, okay? Here we go.
I will give you tremendous latitude prior to.
Let's just start from the beginning.
All right. Drop a demand for speedy. And then we'll pick a date next week, coordinate it amongst us. I'll get you to the next possible available trial date. All right. What's the offer?
The offer is adjudication, 12 months probation, special condition of suspended sentence of 180 days, Broward County Jail, no victim contact, and no return to the site of the trespass, also adjudication.
Your motion to take depots is tonight. We're going to set it for trial. At this time, reduce it to writing. I will give you tremendous latitude prior to meeting with these people. And I'll supplement the record shortly. All right. We're going to pick a trial date by Monday. We'll let you know.
Other people before that?
When's that? What?
Would it be now?
A trial now? I'm not prepared to have a trial right now.
There's no police.
Well, that's not how it works. Like, you know, victims have been subpoenaed and okay.
Are you already kind of moving to do this trial in an expedited manner?
Yes, that's what he wants.
All right, done. December 2nd, special set number 1 jury trial.
What?
Is it special set?
It is the Scott Sanders case that's coming from
Atlanta.
Oh.
How long's that one, do you know? Or the DUI out of Georgia? if he doesn't say it. That's the second of the Monday. All right, we'll set this for the 4th, first thing in the morning.
We'll start.
December 4th, we'll start your trial. All right, go ahead and take him out, and I need you to stick around for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
The 4th.
The 4th.
I already got one coming in from Georgia, so I promise you we'll get you on the 4th.
Oh, and I'll come see you.
Hang on for 1 minute.
Okay.
Let me do a little paperwork.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. I gotta catch up. I know. All right, let's discuss this case a little bit. Any objection?
No.
Okay, 1, he's got mental health issues. 2, he's competent.
Yes.
There's no way out of that. 3, I'm doing this to some extent to protect you, although it doesn't readily appear that way. So I'm using my 20 some odd years of doing this. I'm not going to give you depots because it's going to drag it out long.
I understand.
He's got mental health issues. I'm fully on board with if he's found guilty, the most I'm going to do to him is what you all are asking for. So we're just moving this. So A, he can't file a bar complaint. B, I'm not going to hurt him more than what we're already doing. And I may do less, I don't know. He has a right to his trial. And I want to hear from the victims what's going on. So this is kind of like me being able to do my sentencing. In addition to that, y'all get practice, even though you don't need it, trying cases. And he walks out dissatisfied, but not as upset as he is now. Because the reality of it is, I don't feel comfortable taking a plea from him right now because he clearly doesn't want to do it. So I am denying your depots, but understand this. We're going to slow roll this trial a little bit so you get time to talk to everybody you want to talk to beforehand. I think what we're going to end up seeing is A, it's on camera. B, all they got to do is introduce the restraining order. So I mean, I don't know how, assuming all this is accurate, you need additional discovery. You know, so I'm not doing it to penalize you. Normally I give it to you, but I think the end result is we need to get him out of jail as quick as we can, whether he wants to get out or not. All right. Yeah, you're going to have to get the injunction because obviously that. And I'll be honest with you, if they did lift the injunction, it's still a valid criminal case, but it blows up your adjudication and everything. I mean, from my standpoint, because if they did lift the injunction, I'm going to bring them in here and give them a withhold and close this crap out. But if they didn't, obviously we need to address it. All right. So Anna, you want to talk about something else, or you have some stuff?
For Mario Lopez.
All right, that's it, ladies and gents. So that completes the November 15th Hampton Brandon, a.k.a. Brandon Grosso, whatever, however you pronounce it, is morning court hearing with the Honorable Judge Fry, which, may I add, as I saw a lot of comments in the comments section, in my opinion, was a very, very good judge, very professional, very kind, very fair. As a matter of fact, he had a few, like I said, in between the few times that he was giving Brandon the chance to discuss some things with his lawyer or with the public defender, he took on some other cases and heard some. And I got to see, you know, how he treated some of the other people that stood in front of him, and very professional and fair. Now, as you kind of saw at the end, the judge kind of explained to it, and I don't know if you guys kind of understood, but pretty much he just said that no matter which way this resolves, pretty much which means even no matter if he's found guilty, if he's found not guilty, great. He walks away free and clear. If he's found guilty, the judge pretty much said he's still not going to sentence him to any jail time, is what I understood from that conversation. So it sounds like this judge doesn't want him in jail and seems like he just wants to get him some type of help if it's needed. But either way, like I said, for some of you that have been watching Hampton for a while, you may disagree with this judge in his analysis. Oh man, this is going to be a tough one for me. In his analysis of Brandon kind of, having some mental things going on. If you've watched Brandon for a while, you can see that, like the judge said, he is a competent guy, and he's obviously a pretty smart guy when it comes to the hustle and bustle of things. All right, so you know what I mean? And again, they just go by the facts at hand, and the person is how they present themselves at hand, okay? This judge obviously has never watched Hampton Brandon or knows about the 10 toes down or what's the suspect, you know what I mean, and all that bullshit. And like I said, did you hear him ever once bring up the fact that Hampton's facing charges out of the state of California? As well as they brought up in the incident report, the cop even found it through his system. As well as finding the 2 active warrants, he found out that Hampton Brandon was on probation until 2025 out of the state of Nevada. All right. So again, those things didn't seem to be considered with the judge's, decision of offering the plea deal, which if you guys understood from the beginning, let me just explain to you what Brandon pretty much walked away from today by going to a jury trial. Pretty much in the case having to do with the 2 charges stemming out of his arrest in July, that judge, along with the state, was willing to pretty much, in short, give him 6 months probation. It was a 1 year. They were dismissing 6 months or 180 days. So basically 6 months of probation with the, hey, if you do get in any trouble, you're going to jail for half a year. No ifs, ands, or buts, okay? But let's just assume that Brandon did the right thing and didn't get in any trouble, okay? All he had to do was 6 months of probation, all right? As well as, I don't even think they were going to charge him any court costs or fees or fines. And what else was they going to do? 6 months probation and full adjudication, which just means it's going to be on his record, okay? And he was willing to let him be released today. So he was going to be walking out of jail today, all right? And then he even offered to let him handle the second or most recent case having to do with the bike incident and no lights and getting pulled over and not giving any information to the cop and getting the charge for the obstruction and all that other shit. And then the cop realizing he had 2 warrants because he didn't, report that his ankle monitor bracelet, was dead and all that shit. Anyways, okay, he was willing to settle that case today by, just like he said, Judge Fry's own words, pretty much a stern warning is what it was going to be. So basically, what I understood from the judge today was Brandon was going to be able to walk out of jail today and literally just serve 6 months probation on 2 cases. That doesn't sound like a bad deal, man. Either way, Brandon decided that he doesn't want this on his record. He feels that he is not guilty. You heard his kind of story or his statement to the judge, kind of when he went to that whole thing about, that it's kind of the judge's fault that he's going to be missing the holidays with his family, yada, yada, yada. I would say that Brandon was very lucky that this judge was probably a very just kind-hearted person and probably excited that he's going to be on a long vacation here pretty soon. The judge said he was leaving here pretty soon on a 2-week vacation to Taiwan, I think probably for the holidays. Okay, so this judge is pretty stoked. He's going to be, getting out of this hellhole here for a while. So I think he caught him on a good day is what I'm trying to say. And, because any other judge on a bad day probably wouldn't have tolerated the fact that Brandon was literally trying to gaslight him and say, hey, you're the one that's putting me in jail on the holidays, man, keeping me away from my family. Now, Brandon is supposedly saying that the RO was dropped. I don't think that's the fact. We saw that it was an active RO. That's why they obviously arrested him for trespassing and what is it? The technical word breaking the conditions of the protective order. Okay, they wouldn't arrest him on that had it not been an active PO, protective order. Okay, so I'm not too sure where he was going with that as far as a defense. But either way, you heard the judge say, you know, the evidence is in the video. They've got a protective order. It's paperwork. It's pretty much. I think the judge was more or less saying that if it does go to a jury, most likely they're going to find him guilty. And that's why the judge stated that he probably, even at that point, is not going to consider giving him jail time. Okay. But if that's the fact, though, why go through all that time, you know, waste time, stay in jail, especially now through the holidays, just for the fact of most likely getting the same sentence that you're going to get had you just walked away with taking the plea deal. All right, y'all. That was just my little 2 cents on what I thought about this whole case this morning. But like I said, definitely thought the judge did a great job. I thought he was very professional. He's kind of one I considered like a cool judge. You know, he's like somebody said, Sicilian said, very laid back. And that's a good thing when you're a judge, you know. He's got his career, you know, came from being an officer. So it's kind of nice that he's got that kind of side that he can, you know, cite with the police and understand what they go through. But also, obviously, needs to also, as a judge, be that individual that is kind of neutral in making his decisions and hearing out even a potential or alleged criminal that was somebody that he was arresting at some point. So that could be a good or bad thing, but I think in his case, he does a great job using that experience as an officer to help him, but not be one-sided, you know, and be a good neutral judge is what I got from him today. But I don't know much just from what you heard him talk about today. All right, y'all. And you know what, Presley, Elfish Presley, I do think that, and again, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, anywhere even close to being someone that needs to analyze somebody's mental conditions. But do I think that Brandon suffers from some things? Possibly. I think it might be a little bit induced by things that he ingested or did, substance abuse a bit. Who knows? But you know, but again, who knows with these people, you know? He was also a live streamer that was known as Script Things. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunately, these people don't have the best record going into these things where you're giving them full credit for maybe something that they are really suffering from, or in this case, something that they really truly didn't do or felt bad about doing, you know. He just recently he got in trouble out of San Diego. I mean, this isn't like, you know, he hasn't been in trouble in years and, you know, he's bettering himself. As a matter of fact, he was doing really bad this year and was picking up charges in California, picked up these charges in Florida, and then continued to pick up some more charges while he was still out on his release conditions, you know, with an ankle monitor on him. So, you know, to each their own opinion, but at least it sounds like he's going to have his fair day in the court. And like they say, you know, you are, what is it? You are not guilty until, you are, there's that saying, you know what I'm trying to say. But either way, we'll just see how it goes. We'll monitor it from here. I think his next hearing is going to be December 19th. That's going to be for the second case, which obviously, because he didn't take the deal that the judge in state was offering, it sounds like they're not December 19th, excuse me, November 19th. So it sounds like they've got his hearing for this jury trial that's going to start early December. And then he's got to be back in court on November 19th to face the 4 charges that he recently just picked up having to do with the incident of him not having the correct lights on his bicycle to be operating it at night, which led to, you know, picking up some other charges because he had a warrant, 2 warrants, and also disobeyed some orders from the officer. I want to say big thank you to Cat Crazy. Thank you so much for donating those 5 memberships. I had a chance just to say thank you in the chat, but I did not have a chance. Let me get this out of the way. To give you a real gavel slam. So Cat Crazy, thank you so much for all your continued support and welcome to our 5 new members of the jury. Please enjoy all those awesome emojis that you see everybody spamming, as well as there's some new things I just posted on the membership community board, which was the official members of the jury thank you song. And last night, I was able to give a little sneak peek of the mugshot, kind of let the members of the jury know about what was going to be going on this morning as far as my breaking news. So I am going to continue with kind of sharing anything that's court related, like documents or breaking news, as a sneak peek or an exclusive to the members of the jury first. And then, of course, like say, for example, I find out the night before, I'll let you guys know and the members of the jury about the breaking news. And then the next morning, I'll break it to all the other viewers. You know what I mean? So, and also, I think a lot of the members of the jury, regardless if we have an active member community board, just enjoy spamming all the cool emojis you get. And also, it's a big, big help and support to this channel to always have that monthly contribution coming in from you members of the jury, because that's what helps cover all these, fees having to do with FOIA requests. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it isn't. Body cam footage, compensating for going on these court trips. Which I'm trying to plan on getting one set up here. I can't say soon, but coming up. Definitely we're in line to do a live coverage, you know what I mean? And so thank you guys. Like I said, 100% of all the donations from you guys go right back into this channel. As a matter of fact, as I have some time, I would like to spam my little banner here. So if you have not been notified yet by myself, we are official now. We've got an official merch store for the NJH Courts TV channel. And it's off of stickermule.com. Sticker Mule has done our stickers. They've done our buttons, and they've done a shirt. Okay, so you can now go on there and purchase a shirt with a really cool shirt, as a matter of fact. And again, all the proceeds from the sales from the store. Right now, I have 2 items on there, but I'm going to start growing that store and adding more items. But for right now, all sales or proceeds from those sales at the store will also go into our project that we're doing or have been doing for over a year now, which is the Good Cause Project or fundraiser for a good cause fundraiser, which we're coming up to our new year here soon. So we're going to end the new year by hopefully selling out all of our buttons. I'm going to do kind of like a little fundraiser here and kind of a good, fun, hearty Thanksgiving stream. It'll be fun, but we're going to do some good things to help out some of the homeless out there. But either way, I hope that I can get all those buttons sold by then. And then we're going to put a vote out for you guys to decide which nonprofit, what group you guys want to decide to donate all the proceeds that we got from the button sale, as well as any of the sales we may get from any of the merch that's sold from now until the end of the year. All right. So I appreciate everybody's support on that fundraiser. As a matter of fact, Sicilian Princess, because I saw you in chat earlier, we're going to be distributing some of the buttons that you purchased and said that I can hand out, donate to however I got to go back and see how many buttons that you got. But however many, we'll be distributing to those to some lucky members out there. You don't even have to be a member of the jury, just some lucky people. We'll figure out a fun way to give those out. And we're going to be doing some other fun giveaways on that fun Thanksgiving stream. So look out for that, but I'm pretty sure we'll have some court updates between now and the Thanksgiving stream. I'm not going to do it on Thanksgiving Day because obviously everybody should be with their families. If you don't have your family, just be doing your own thing, which could be whatever. And if it's, hanging out on YouTube all day, hey, so be it. All right, I'll probably be doing that. But either way, just out of the respect for the holiday, I'm not going to be doing anything live. We'll probably do something like the weekend before, which I don't know if it's this weekend. I think it's next. But either way, we'll have something fun. But it won't be on Thanksgiving Day. All right. That's the day for you guys to enjoy and me to eat a bunch of turkey and pass out. All right. Let's see here. I think that's all I have as far as updates. Oh, today was the Incel Bin Laden hearing. So I'll try to get an update and see how that went. I don't know if that was going to be available to record. And even if it was, I had to pick between the two. And obviously, I think the Hampton Brandon hearing was going to be the one that we got a lot of information and probably was going to be the more exciting out of the two hearings, just my opinion. But either way, I'll get you an update as soon as I get one from what happened. If IBL was a show up or a no show. I was told that he possibly wasn't even going to show up to this court hearing. So we'll see what happened. And then I've got some other things kind of brewing as far as court updates. I'm not going to share anything with you guys yet. I'm waiting to see if I get a response from a certain individual. But if I do, I may have some interesting information to share with you guys. And that has to do with the Trina Golden case. Remember, her sentencing hearing is coming up here in December. But we've got a couple of other cases, I think, in November. I didn't have a chance to fill this up. I will do that today. But don't forget, you can check out the NJ Courts the commentary section or community tab, and you can find an updated. Actually, I think I need to update it because we got a new one with the updated court cases and stuff like that for November's e-calendar. So there's already one up there, but I think I need to post another one. That Sunshinery, then thank you, Sunshinery, for staying on top of that project, has updated me on. So thank you guys again for all your support today. Thank you for guys tuning in on both of our breaking news updates. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast today and the court, lives, or, it wasn't live from like as it was going on, but pretty much, like I said, as soon as it was done, I took an hour just to put everything together, and then boom, here we are. So again, thank you for everybody that tuned in today. I hope you guys enjoy the live stream. I'm going to try my best to bring more of those to you as far as the actual live coverage, even if I can't be there, if it's done through Zoom or Teams, or sometimes these courts even have their own broadcast on YouTube. I will always try my best to bring you either the video or at the very minimum audio. And if I can't do any of those two, we just find the court records and we go from there. All right. So, ladies and gents, enjoy the rest of your Friday, November the 15th. If I don't see you this weekend, have a wonderful and safe weekend. If I don't even see you throughout the holiday, have a wonderful holiday and happy early Thanksgiving. Please stay out of trouble. I don't want to be doing any more updates this month. As it is, we're already going to have a pretty busy. We always do our who's in jail through the Thanksgiving holiday stream, and I think we've got Trina, Hampton, old girl who's got a hearing coming up. I think this next week, but still may be in custody or in jail. We've got a few, and there's probably a few more that I just forgot that will be spending, unfortunately, the holidays. Not saying it's a good or bad thing. If they deserved it, they deserved it. But, of course, I never wish that upon anybody to have to spend the holidays, especially in jail. But either way, we'll definitely get that list as a tradition here on the NJ Courts TV channel and get that presented to you all. All right. You all have a great day. And don't say I didn't remind you guys. Take those earbuds out or lower that volume. Let me just make sure before I sign out that I didn't miss any comments, complaints, or donations. All right. I think we got everything here. Yes, thank you again, Cat Crazy, for gifting those 5 NJ Court memberships, and welcome to our 5 new members. All right, ladies and gents. First off, I want to go ahead and say, members of the jury, you are officially excused. We are adjourned, as they say. And for the rest of you, please don't forget to keep that head on a swivel. Check that 6 every once in a while. Most importantly, take some time, especially as we're getting closer to the holidays, to love somebody, even if it's yourself. And if it is yourself, just do that for a month and then take some time the next month to love other people, okay? I love you guys as always. We'll see you on the next one. NJ Courts is officially out of here. Peace, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you on the next one.